It's over, guys. It's over, guys. Hey, hey, hey. Old Man G, RDS here. Manchester United nil, Spurs 1. In what was ultimately, as we've seen so many times this season, a disappointing performance. A bit better in the second half, but ultimately not enough to beat Spurs. On the outset, both of these teams are crap anyway, having terrible seasons. Um, United are now 15th, Spurs are 12th. I don't think any of them are going to be getting top 10, let alone top 7 European football. Um, Spurs' only chance to get European football is Europa League, and United's is the Europa League and the FA Cup. That's it. But we want to speak about Manchester United today just briefly. I'm not obviously address the injury crisis situation. I think for me, as soon as I saw those amount of players out, your entire midfield, Collier, Agate gone, Mainu gone, basically three midfielders somehow gone out of nothing, and then Mainu, Ahmad out as well. Basically, your best attacker, and for me, it was like it's done. I don't really know what to do here because basically the starting 11 is the only 11 left. I know there are a lot of people that are going to say, "Oh, well, Amorim isn't," but it's just like there is nothing else. That starting 11 is basically the fit 11 for now, anyway. We're not even talking about players that have been long term injured like Luke Shaw and Mount, who, as far as I'm concerned, should be moved on in the summer. But I'll probably do a separate video this week talking about the Manchester United injury crisis. But as far as today goes, I, I don't want to. I mean, there's a reason why I'm not even doing a live show or live stream because, as far as I'm concerned, the league there isn't anything in the league. Like we're not going to get relegated, despite what people say. We're not. You know, Leicester, Ipswich are probably are down. Sorry, Leicester, Southampton are down. So really, it's Ipswich Town, and we'll probably will at least pick up some points somewhere. So we're not going to be relegated. We'll probably end up finishing freaking the bottom. We're probably finishing, we're 15th. So what, 16, 17? Yeah, we'll probably finish 17th at this rate. And that'll be that. And then season over. At the end of the day, this has been Manchester United's problem so many times where, for the sake of saving money, shout out to those who said Ineos, Stuart Ratcliffe was going to save Manchester United, put the Manchester back in Manchester United being a British something. At the end of the day, this bloke thought that Brexit was a good idea, and now he's brought that Brexit drivel to Manchester United because cuts, savings, all the rest of it. We now hearing is cutting our scouting department and all the rest of it. There's a bad mood right now in Manchester United. You can clearly see that things are going not particularly well. And if people think that Ineos aren't going to sack Amorim, they will. They will. The only reason why they won't sack him is if they can't afford it. But they will. I think that if things continue, and especially if we're not in any European competition, he'll go. But either at the end of the season or beginning of next season, and we'll be back again because the structures haven't changed at all. It's just interesting how every single time we say, and I say this so many times to people, when they get so infused as a manager. I said this since what happened with Ollie is that there are fundamental issues at Manchester United that need to be addressed before they can be successful. It's not just removing the manager. And since Ollie, we obviously had Ollie. Ragnick obviously spoke about it from the hills. People just said, "Oh, his football wasn't good. Get rid of them." They didn't listen to him. Imagine if he was actually in charge of our recruitment and overseeing our development. No, we said no. Get lost. Ten Hag comes in. Listen to him. Give him some time. It didn't work out. Briefly gave something to Van Nistelrooy, who in retrospect I think maybe should have just had this stint to the end of the season because what was the point? We might as well had him to the end of the season, and then at least next season you bring in Amorim, and then you with some players if we can afford it. Simple as that. So he knows what he's getting into. I have no idea why the board were like, he was like, let me give me till the end of the season. I was like, no, you have to come now. Why? To do what? To save the season? Like the season was already lost by the time that Amorim came. So I don't know. I really don't know anymore. Really, like I said, for me the season's done. I don't really. I'm only here for the FA Cup, which, given that bare bones team, I know on the normal circumstance, I think we probably got enough to beat Fulham at home. But with that bare bones team, I just don't think so. And then obviously Europa League, I don't think we play until March because we came third. So, but even then, I know two-legged affair of this team with playing in midfield today of Casemiro and Bruno, that ain't gonna work. You can't play Casemiro and Bruno in the midfield. He's going to have to sort something out there. Ericsson apparently is ill, so maybe Ericsson will play, but Ericsson doesn't have any legs either. Although at least Ericsson, I guess, can create, so probably Ericsson will come in somewhere. You hope that maybe Collier and Ugarte's things aren't that bad. I hope, but that we've not heard anything. All we know is that definitely Maino and Ahmad out for us this season. Shout out to Xerxes and Dorgu. I think they were probably our two biggest highlight players, but again, we don't have a strike attacking Kent. Rasmus, to me, completely devoid of confidence. Don't know why we spent 7 million on this guy. I hyped him in the first season, filling goals to build, and somehow he's just completely deteriorated now. And that's what happens when you don't have an experienced striker, which United didn't get. Dorgu looks good, but no one passing to him, no one ignoring him. And you look at today and the fundamentals, can't pass the ball, decision making, all the rest. We said this so many times in Manchester United, and it's getting annoying because it's like this happens. I mean, it was the same one to Ollie, it was the same one to Ragnick, it was the same one to Ten Hag, it was the same one to just getting the basics right from this team seems to not be the case. So I don't know what's going to happen to this team, but I certainly think major restructuring still needs to be done, and we need to actually build a squad. Not just getting the great starting 11. We need to start building a squad. If that means incorporating young players in, so be it. But we need to build a squad because I don't think this injury crisis or the situation right now should be of any surprise to anybody. We had our worst injury crisis last season, and then what we decided to do this season was let players go and not replace them. So what do you expect to happen? That's just the way that's it. What do you expect to happen? Some of the players that we let go actually are players that aren't as injury prone. I mean, no, McTominay picks up, but not as many. We let Fred go, didn't pick up any injuries. We let those types of players go, and yet you don't replace them. You don't. I think Agate is great. I think he's got a great player, but Agate has picked up more injuries since he's come here, and this is his first season. I look at these things. You look at it's like, for me, availability of football. You can tell me that Fred, for example, is not as good at football as Agate, but Fred's availability was almost near 100%. Almost most of our signings, look at Agate's come in, love the guy, great, good quality as well, good destroyer, but this is his first season, and he's been out injured 2 times. The same thing happened with Højlund, although he's not been injured, but that happened. Mason Mount came injured out. How many players have we actually brought in? I mean, aside from I think Matt Suarez and De Ligt have been okay, so maybe that's Bundesliga thing wearing in. But most guys, they come in, they're injured. I don't know what's going on in the medical department. I don't know whether it's the bad facilities. I don't know. Guys, this is a rant about the thing, but it's just that I don't know what else. There's nothing much else to say about the game, really, because what I saw today is what I've seen all season. So there's like, what am I supposed to say? Oh, if this person is this, yeah, Ganache's decision making, yeah, Anana's distribution, yeah, the poor passing, yes, Cam isn't quick enough, yeah, Højlund could be better. All this is stuff. None of what we saw today is what I've not seen already this season, and unfortunately, that's just where we are, Manchester United Football Club right now, losing to a pretty much a below average Spurs side away from home, who beaten us home and away, by the way, and we can't really do anything about it. Simple as that. So I don't know, guys. Like I said, I probably aren't going to do many live reactions anymore to Premier League games because I like to have the community to discuss these things, but I don't really know what else is to discuss the season. For me, the season is over already. There's nothing to talk about in Premier League. What are we fighting for? Nothing. Just not humiliation. There's nothing else. So watch-alongs, match reactions, maybe to cup games, fine. And to be honest, as soon as we get knocked out of the FA Cup and Europa League, I mean, the season is effectively done. It's effectively done. So yeah. Anyway, guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter at Red Devil Studio X. Smash that like button, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. It's peak. This is the darkest period of Manchester United, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Sack another manager. We had Qatar. Is what I'm saying. We had Qatar, and the British media, British press, and so many people were like, "Nah." So Jim is the way. Well, look at where we are now. Have a nice day, guys. Peace.